Long before algorithms, floor traders needed a single sheet of paper telling them where the market should pause, reverse, or accelerate. They built it from yesterday's high, low, and close. That map is the floor trader pivot system, and even today it pins price on equity index futures, FX majors, and large-cap stocks with eerie consistency. In the next 7 minutes, we'll cover the math, the entries, the exits, the weaknesses, and how to layer pivots with other tools without fooling yourself. The central pivot, P, is the average of yesterday's high, low, and close. Resistance 1 is 2P minus the low. Support 1 is 2P minus the high. Resistance 2 is P plus the high minus the low. Support 2 is P minus that same range. Resistance 3 is the high plus 2 times P minus the low, and support 3 mirrors it from the low. Notice the structure. Every level is anchored to P and stretched by yesterday's range. That's why pivots breathe with volatility. Think of P as today's gravitational center. If price opens and trades above P, the session has a bullish bias and R1 becomes the first magnet. Below P, flip it. S1 is in play and rallies into P become fade candidates. R2 and S2 typically mark the edge of a normal range day. R3 and S3 only print on trend days, and reaching them often signals exhaustion rather than continuation. On a quiet day, price oscillates between S1 and R1, repeatedly testing P. The classic fade is to sell into R1 or R2 when momentum stalls and buy into S1 or S2 when sellers fail. Stops sit just beyond the next level, so risk is defined by structure, not feel. The expected target is a return to P. This works best when the prior day was also a range day and overnight volatility is muted. Trend days behave differently. A clean break and hold above R1, especially on expanding volume, often runs to R2 and sometimes R3. The entry is the retest of R1 from above. The stop is below it. The first target is R2. The tell that you're in a trend day rather than a range day is simple. P holds as support on the first pullback. If price slices back through P, abandon the breakout thesis immediately. Here's a textbook session. Price opens just above P, dips to test it, holds, then rallies into R1. First touch gets faded slightly, but the second push breaks R1 on a wide range candle. A shallow retest holds, and price extends to R2 by midday. The afternoon stalls near R2 and grinds sideways into the close. Notice how each pivot acted as a decision point, not a precise turning point. Now let's see this on real price action. On daily SPY, we plot the central pivot derived from the prior period's high, low, and close. Watch how price respects P during consolidation phases and how breaks of R1 or S1 frequently precede sustained directional moves. The levels aren't magic, but the reaction rate is high enough that they belong on your chart as reference structure. Pivots are objective and forward-looking. Every trader using the same formula sees the same levels, which creates self-fulfilling reactions. They're computed once and remain fixed all session, so you're not chasing a redrawing indicator. They scale automatically with volatility because yesterday's range is baked in, and they pair naturally with the opening range, VWAP, and prior day high and low. Pivots fail in two situations. First, gap and go opens that print far from yesterday's range render P irrelevant for the day. Second, news-driven sessions ignore structure entirely, slicing through R2 and S2 like they aren't there. There's also a session definition problem in 24-hour markets like FX or crypto. The cutoff time you choose shifts every level. And during low volatility regimes, the levels cluster so tightly that stops get knocked out by ordinary noise. Pivots become powerful when they overlap with something else. A pivot level coinciding with VWAP, a prior day high or low, or a major moving average creates a high conviction zone. Use momentum tools like RSI or MACD to time the entry inside that zone rather than at it. And always check higher timeframe structure. A daily pivot meeting a weekly pivot is the kind of confluence that institutional desks actively defend. Beyond the classic formula, you'll encounter Camarilla pivots, which use 8 tighter levels designed for mean reversion, Woody pivots, which double-weight the close, Fibonacci pivots, which apply fib ratios to yesterday's range, and DeMark pivots, which condition on the open-close relationship. Each has a use case, but the classic floor trader version remains the most widely watched, which is precisely why it works. 3 mistakes kill pivot traders. First, treating levels as precise prices instead of zones allow a few ticks of slack. Second, trading every touch, wait for a reaction candle or a momentum shift. Third, ignoring context. The same R1 that gets faded on a range day gets bought aggressively on a trend day. Read the open, read the volume, then decide which playbook applies. Tomorrow, before the open, calculate P, R1, R2, S1, and S2 from today's high, low, and close. Mark them on your chart. Note where they overlap with VWAP and prior day extremes. In the first 30 minutes, classify the session as range or trend based on whether P holds. Then apply the matching playbook with defined stops and targets at the next level. This is education, not financial advice. Size your risk, journal every trade, and let the floor traders' century-old map sharpen your edge. If this helped, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss the next one. See you in the next video.